Happy Wednesday or hump day, however you want to say it. In today's video, I kind of want to talk about how I need to revert back to what I was a few months ago. And I'm not talking about before the warehouse and things like that. If it's your first time on the channel, my name is Ryan. I'm a full-time reseller on sites like eBay, Poshmark, and Depop. And let's go ahead and get into it. So a few months ago, I really was focusing on that $20 profit item. And that is the main focus of today's video. I think I blinded myself a little bit when I took on an employee. Like, I needed to list more. I needed to list more. And also the kind of glamour, maybe you want to call it glamour. I don't really know if you call it that. So another resellers that are great resellers. They do an amazing job, and I think I got it in my head that I needed to try to get to their level as fast as I can, which is it's not always the best model. I will say that. So regardless of what we do, we try to compare ourselves to other people, even though we really shouldn't, because everyone's on different levels. You know, at one point I was trying to get to like Surf Sub Fines level. I was trying to get to, Harry Tornado's level, and he doesn't even do eBay anymore. And not saying they're not still great resellers, but my model has kind of changed. And one reseller group I've talked about before on my channel is Cougar's Corner. Great resellers, great content. Just great people in general. But I think the problem is I was trying to compare myself to them too fast. They're doing, I think, 60 listings a day. They were at 50. And I was just trying to go from 20 to 30. And I'm not gonna lie, I was stressing myself out over it. I think it wasn't just going to 30 listings, because I've done that before. Actually, when I first started, I jumped from 10 at part-time to 30, and that was a jump, but it was okay. And then I focused on the $20 profit and went to 20 items, and I kind of had time. I had time for things, and I don't really have time for things. As most of you know that have followed my journey, I just let my employee go, so I'm back to just me. And having an employee can kind of be stressful, especially when you have an expectation and they don't follow that expectation. And maybe I'm just not a good teacher at something I'm trying to learn myself. This is why this channel is not trying to give advice. This channel is talking about my own journey and how I'm learning along the way. I am not a reselling expert, so everything I say, use your own judgment, because everyone's model is different. But I think I need to go back to focusing on that $20 profit. I should not really be picking up all this stuff that I'm picking up. I was going through my report on Nifty, and if you don't know what Nifty is, it is a great AI platform that helps cross list. It also keeps track of all your records, so every time I spend money at a store, I record that expense. Every time I get gas, I record that expense. Every time I have to pay my rent for my warehouse, I record that expense. It is great to kind of get an idea of what your true profit is, and so it records all that. So if you do want to try out Nifty, I will leave a link below. And you can also use code HOLLOWBOX to get 15% off your first month. But so I was looking at Nifty, and it also says, like, when you sell an item, it shows your order, and you can type in like how much you spent on the item. So it'll deduct all that, and then it'll show your final profit at their whatever platform fees, and also what your shipping label is, example for eBay. So I was kind of looking at it, and yeah, I was getting items for like $1, but some of them sit, and most of the items I pick up for $1, I try to list for around 20, but there were some that were like 15, and people were like $8, and I'm like, well, I've had this for this long, and at a certain point you're just like, get it out of here. I do not need it anymore. So I really want to focus on, is this really going to give me $20? I think that is the best approach. I've been going through different resellers, stores, and kind of seeing what they're selling. And I really need to focus. So like an example is that $1 and I'm selling it for 20. That sounds great on paper. And it could if it flips fast. But once you take out all the fees, let's just say an example for Poshmark, an example. So Poshmark takes 20%. So it's pretty easy to kind of calculate. So if you sold some for 20, they take their 20%, you know, that's going to leave you with, what is it? $4 for them and $16 for you. Then the dollar you paid, there's $15 profit. $15, that's pretty good. I mean, I would still do that if it was fast, but I'm kind of seeing that there are so many items out there, and I may still do that $1 to $20. But I really need to pay attention when I'm buying things that are $3, $5, even $10. They need to have a better return for me, especially if it's not out, or if it's outside what I'm actually selling. So I just sold a VCR. I love selling VCRs. That is not clothing. I am mainly a clothing seller now, and I'm okay with it because it's easier for me to have a full system. That VCR took time to package, and I had to have bubble wrap and a certain size box and things like that, even though I built the box. Of course, when you are shipping any kind of electronics, you want to fit where there's no wiggle room. I will probably still pick up VCRs. I think I picked it up for like $7 and sold it for $75. That is great. I need to focus more on items like that. Obviously, the thrift stores, they take items off their shelves, they sell them themselves. I mainly go to Salvation Army and Goodwill. Salvation Army is starting to do their own whatnots, and I think eBay Live. I think they do eBay Live. Goodwill, I think I've seen them do whatnots, and they have their own website to sell stuff, and it's like an auction. And it's not, you know, there's no returns or anything like that. So if it's broken, ripped, because trust me, Goodwill does mess up a lot, and Salvation Army. They don't look everything over. They just kind of show it and here it is. So you need to be weary on that, but they still sell a lot. They got all their stuff for free. Obviously, they have to pay all their labor and kind of for their causes. So that's them. So when you're focusing it, for me, I go to thrift stores to get my inventory. I've tried Whatnot, and I think I've had worse luck on Whatnot because when I buy an item, there's always something that wasn't disclosed. But I have gotten things and they've done well. But you can't. Another thing is, I don't want to throw him under the bus, but I know he's not going to watch this video, and that's perfectly fine. I have bought stuff from K-Way Shop. Great reseller, does great whatnots, things like that. I've followed him for quite a while now. But I've bought stuff from him, and it stinks. Or at least the stuff I got from him, it stinks. And they were new with tags, but they stink. And that's not disclosed. You can't smell an item when you're on Whatnot. And I'm having to figure out how to get rid of it. Which, there's so many different methods. So that's, Whatnot can still be a good sourcing opportunity, but there's nothing like getting in person. Obviously, I know getting like, you know, bales or gaylords of stuff can be beneficial, but also you're finding that time is so important in this business. And that's why I really think I need to focus back on, is this going to make me $20? Because I'm listing so many items that are just not really worth it. And with the new eBay fees and other fees on different platforms, I don't know if selling an item under $20 on eBay is really worth it nowadays. That's just my opinion. I mean, I would love to hear what you guys think. Is selling an item under $20 value, not talking about shipping included, but an item before shipping under $20, is it really worth it anymore as a reseller? I'm starting to think it's not really. I mean, there's so much out there. If you could focus on getting 20 items a day listed and making, let's say you sold the 14 or 15 a day out of the 20 and you grow by 5, I'm pretty cool with that. Right now I have 3,400, almost 500 items, so 3,500 items in my store. That is so many. I kind of miss the days where I had around 15. I think that was a good number, and I think it's a healthy number because it's showing stuff that's just moving through. Obviously, I might have to drive more, and I drive a truck, so that might be an issue, especially with fuel, but fuel is starting to go back down, which is nice. I think I need to really focus on that $20. $20, 20 items a day. I think that would be the best model for me. I need to quit picking up things I think are going to sell. And summer is a weird time because yes, there's people off work and school and stuff, but they don't buy higher end items. They seem to buy cheaper items in the summer. So that's where I get kind of the dilemma of, well, should I do the $20? Because then I don't know if I'm making the profit I need. Because am I just looking for dollar items or free items to make it $20? So it's hard. Obviously, in-demand items are out there. You just have to find them. But that's a lot of driving around. And I don't know if it's going to be worth it in that aspect. So I got to be strategic with it. And I don't know exactly how I can do it, but I really feel like I shouldn't be picking up items under $20. These are just my thoughts, though. I would love to hear what you guys think. And I think we're gonna really focus back on how we used to be. I don't have an employee to worry about. I feel like that kind of blinded me into think I need to pick up items, and that kind of confused me because he would grab items and I'm like, yeah, we'll try it out. And I need to be like, no, don't do that. Don't do that. And I would do it. I would still like, all right, let's get it. And I'm sure there's a bunch of items that I have from him and me that was just kind of like in the moment, and I need to quit doing that. I hate to say it, like Wrangler jeans do not really sell that well. I mean, some of them brand new with tags, and there are certain models that do, but a lot of them don't. I don't need them. I need to focus on what's selling so I can get back out there and find. There's so many resellers out there, because while you're busy listing under $20 items, they're out there finding more expensive item. I need to do better research. I need to focus on those $20 items and just boots on the ground, like Tech and Sports says. I mean, I need to do that. So, and anyone I've mentioned in this video, they might even follow this model. I'm just saying I have blinded myself by kind of accepting stuff that shouldn't be in my store, and I've also blinded myself by trying to compare myself to better resellers or more established resellers, and I feel like it's hurt me. And for the first time in quite a while, I am under $32,000 on eBay's 90-day total. That is, I mean, I'm usually hanging around like 37, 36, 38, I'm just always bouncing around right there. And don't get me wrong, I am using Nifty to cross list to Depop and Poshmark, so I'm getting a lot of sales there. But my goal was always to hit that 40. I still want to hit that 40 on eBay. And I think it's still possible. I just need to focus on better items and not waste so much time. I am wasting so much time on processing things under $20, or also projects still. I need to quit doing projects. I don't know why I keep doing it. I don't know why, and it is so frustrating why I can't just get it through my head to quit doing that. I need to quit doing that. I don't know, but I'll keep you guys updated. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. Please comment below, do you think that picking up items under $20 is still worth it or not? And if you could, please subscribe, catch more content like this, and follow me on my journey. I appreciate you guys. See you next time. Bye.